For 10 years, my family had called me a jinx. When I was 3 years old, my dad claimed that he lost a major project because he had to take care of me due to my ailment. My mom wanted to buy me sweets, only to end up getting hit by a car in front of a candy store. That was how she hurt her arm. My older sister, Sienna Bell, often claimed that she screwed up in her test simply because I kept breaking her pens. One day, my mom invited a shaman named Mr. Reyes over. After inspecting the house, he contemplated for a while. This child is affiliated with misfortune by nature. She's a walking jinx who absorbs the entire family's luck. He then added, but if she has a life of misfortune, you will regain your luck. At first, I felt aggrieved and tried to fight back by throwing tantrum. I tugged at my mom's sleeve while arguing loudly, I'm not a jinx. But my mom just looked at me calmly. There was a hint of eerie calmness in her eyes. She said, Mr. Reyes said that you have to accept your fate. Someone has to bear the sacrifices no matter what. Her icy words doused out the hope in my heart. In a way, this twisted dynamic actually worked. My dad's business went steady, whereas Sienna started getting better grades. At one point, I even started thinking that I was a real jinx. But why was it that my family was haunted by more misfortune after my death? Chapter 1. It was New Year's Eve, and we were moving to a new house. I was wearing an old shirt that had faded and shrunk. Sniffling, I gathered up the courage to say to Mom, I want to spend the new year in the new house too. The moment the words left my mouth, everyone stopped packing. Their looks were full of disdain. Mom sighed and spoke with clear irritation. Sharon Bell, stop being so selfish. It's the new year. Do you want something to go wrong for us? You can go once things settle down. I blinked back tears and nodded slowly. I leaned against the door, listening as their voices grew fainter. Sharon has the flu. Would it be okay for her to stay here alone? When I heard Dad's voice, my chest tightened and tears welled up. Oh, Dad, Sharon's a jinx. If she comes with us, what if the move doesn't go smoothly? It's the start of the year. Anything bad happening would be so unlucky. My sister, Sienna Bell's words hit me like a sharp needle. Yeah, she's sick. She's probably feeling bad. So let's go buy a lottery ticket. The worse she feels, the better our luck will be. Maybe we'll win big. Mom's voice faded into the background. I sniffled, feeling like a ton of bricks was blocking my nose. Then I crouched down and wrapped my arms around myself. I had my New Year's Eve dinner stale bread with mustard. I curled up on the couch, feeling my body burn up, but at the same time, it grew colder. It was unbearable. I dialed Mom's number without thinking. Mom, I feel really awful. My chest hurts. I barely managed to say the word. What did you say? Wait, 2 of spades? Raise. Mom's impatient voice came through. Sharon, stop being so difficult. I'll pick you up in a few days. Remember, don't be too happy. I'm on a winning streak today. The call ended abruptly. I chuckled bitterly. Yeah, I was the jinx. Mom said I couldn't be happy. I had to stay miserable so the family could have good luck. I had to keep suffering for the sake of their happiness. However, what if I disappeared? If I died, would they finally live a good life? For a moment, I felt my body grow heavier and my heartbeat grow slower. Suddenly, everything felt light and the pain in my chest vanished. I slowly started floating upward. I was really dead. Looking down at the tiny figure curled on the couch, I felt a strange sense of relief. I finally didn't have to be a burden on my family anymore. They'd live a good life from now on. In my next life, I'd be a normal child. A lucky child. Chapter 2. I finally arrived at the new house. I wasn't worthy to be here while alive, but maybe I could at least visit now that I'm gone. Wow, this place was beautiful. As I gazed at Dad, Mom, and Sienna, my heart ached. I never even got to see them one last time before I died. Mom didn't seem happy though. She frowned, looking confused. What's going on today? I was winning big earlier, but I ended up losing everything. Dad grumbled. Same here. I was just one number away from winning the lottery. I was so close. This is driving me crazy. Sienna joined in, yelling, me too. I've been losing non-stop in the game I'm playing. I can't win no matter what. I froze, instantly sensing trouble. Over the past 10 years, I had become quiet. I didn't even dare smile. I was just like a shadow in this house. If Sienna broke a cup, they'd naturally look at me. When Dad's business wasn't going well, the house's low energy turned into silent judgment directed at me. I learned to lower my head before they even sighed. At meals, I was always the last to sit at the table. I also took the least amount of food. If anything good happened, graduations, raises, even winning a pair of socks in a supermarket raffle, I would immediately retreat to my room. I feared my happiness would cancel out their good luck. This time, it wasn't me. I was already dead. How could I affect them now? Yet, it seemed that their beliefs were deeply ingrained. As expected, Mom's face grew darker, as if she had figured something out. It must be Sharon. What has that brat done now? That jinx. She won't stop until she ruins us. I shook my head desperately. It's not me. Really, it's not. I've already suffered enough. Sienna was furious. It's definitely Sharon. She's such a jinx. Mom, don't let her come here. If she does, we're doomed. I turned away in despair, heading toward my room to check it out. I had been so excited about my new room here. In the old house, my room was always dark and damp as hell. However, after circling the house, I couldn't find it. Finally, in a cramped storage room, I found a pitiful little bed. This room was even worse than my old one. It didn't even have a window, and I couldn't see the fireworks. The bitterness in my chest hit its peak. They really didn't want to make things any better for me. When I went back to the living room, I heard Mom trying to call me on the phone. Unsurprisingly, no one picked up. I told Mom in my mind that I was already dead. They wouldn't be unlucky anymore. That jinx, she won't even pick up the phone. She's definitely hiding something. Mom angrily hung up the phone. Mom, don't send her food, and don't give her any money. Let her starve for a few days. That's the only way our luck will turn around. Mom's eyes lit up and she nodded. I'll go to sleep, then go back to playing poker tomorrow. My luck's bound to change. I was shocked and yelled out loud, no, I'm dead. If you don't deal with my body soon, it'll start to smell. Please, just come check on me. Of course, they couldn't hear me, and they went off to sleep. Helpless, I went back to the old house. I looked at my stiff body. My face was no longer just pale. It was turning black. I sighed. I felt bad for myself, but maybe it was better this way. At least now I wouldn't have to suffer anymore. I wouldn't have to live so cautiously and face their indifference, blame, and insult. They also no longer had to worry about me affecting their luck. Chapter 3. The next day, the bright red sun shone down on my corpse. However, no matter how hard it tried, it couldn't warm it. It was the second day of the new year, and we were supposed to visit Grandma. I heard Dad say, why don't we bring Sharon along? It's the new year. Mom always misses her the most. I felt a glimmer of hope. Were they finally going to notice I was gone? However, Mom sounded irritated. Don't bother. My luck's been awful these days. It's definitely that Jinx's fault. As I was dead, I couldn't shed a tear, but I desperately shouted, Dad, Mom, please check on me. I'm dead. I won't bother you anymore. They couldn't hear me. When we arrived at Grandma's house, I couldn't hold back my sadness any longer. I rushed to her, but I passed right through her. Yeah, I was dead. I could never hug her again. Where's Sharon? Why isn't she here? Grandma asked. Mom smiled. Mom, Sharon's got the flu. We didn't want her to give it to you, so she stayed home. She'll visit once she's better. I rubbed my dry eye. Grandma could never see me again. Aaron, be kinder to Sharon. Don't listen to Mr. Reyes' nonsense. She's your daughter. You don't want to regret it later. Mom seemed annoyed. I know. Don't worry about it. Grandma sighed. I heard my cousin, Katie Wood, ask Sienna, hey Sienna, is that Jinx from your family not coming? No, she's not coming. My family has been unlucky lately. She's staying in the old house, hiding away. Katie seemed relieved. Good. I don't want to be anywhere near her. It's the new year. Don't need to catch any bad luck. My lips curled up in a humorless smile as my heart sank into a cold void. When I used to visit, only Grandma would secretly give me snacks and allowance. The rest of them would bully or ignore me. Once they even kicked me out into the cold. I cried until snot ran down my face, but they were happy. They were sure they'd win at their game later. Call Sharon and ask if she's eaten yet. Grandma told Mom as she tapped her cane. Grandma still remembered me. Mom frowned, about to refuse, when her phone rang. Hello, Aaron? Did you move? Did you clean up everything here? It smells terrible. It was Phoebe White, the neighbor. I sighed. The sunlight, combined with the underfloor heating, was speeding up the decomposition of my body. Smell? Sharon's still there. She's probably done something bad again. You don't need to worry about it. I'll call her and yell at her later. I screamed, no, I'm dead. Mom, please go home and check on me. I'm getting more grotesque. Mom called me, but as expected, no one picked up the phone. It had run out of battery and shut off. Frowning, Dad stood up and said I should go back and check on her. I was ecstatic and nodded vigorously. However, just then, my uncle, Melvin Shelton, called Dad over. Don't go yet. We're missing one person for the game. Just stay a little longer. It won't take much time. I felt a wave of terror. I prayed for Dad to refuse. Dad hesitated, then set down his coat. I lowered my head in disappointment and listened to their lively chatter and cheerful laughter. When would they finally remember me? When would they realize I was dead? Would they be sad when they found out? Would they regret it even a little? Probably not. They'd probably just be glad. After all, I was dead. They'd never be unlucky again. Chapter 4. Dad drank too much that night. He didn't end up going to the old house to check on me. The next morning, when he finally got up, I urged him, Dad, it's time to check on me now. Suddenly, his phone rang. Michael, get over here. There's a problem with the business. His partner's voice was frantic. Dad hung up the phone, and just like that, I was forgotten again. He rushed off in a hurry. Mom had heard the phone call too, and she looked worried. She took a deep breath, trying to calm her racing heart. Please, God, let everything be okay. I also folded my hands in a silent prayer for Dad. However, there wouldn't be any problems because I was dead. I wouldn't be able to affect them anymore. This time, everything would turn out fine. Still uneasy, Mom tried to brew some calming tea. It was on the top shelf of the cupboard, so she stood on a stool to reach it. Then, she slipped and fell off the stool. The pain made her wince. I wanted to help her, but I was powerless. What's going on? What the hell is Sharon doing? When I see her, I swear I'll beat some sense into her. Upon hearing her words, I withdrew my hand. Was it really all my fault? Just then, Deanna suddenly shouted, Mom, Mr. Reyes is here. Mom forgot her pain. She quickly stood up and rushed out. Mr. Reyes, please take a look at our new house. Is there something wrong with it? Our luck been bad lately. Is it because of Sharon? Is she still living too well? Mr. Reyes, a so-called shaman, strolled through the house, rubbing his goatee. I followed him, curious. I was already dead. Could he still blame me for all this? Suddenly, he fixed his gaze on me, then quickly started counting on his fingers. I jumped in surprise. Did he see me? His brow furrowed as he mumbled to himself, no, this isn't right. The timing, the direction, did I miscalculate back then? Mom anxiously asked, what is it, Mr. Reyes? Is that Jinx causing trouble in our new house again? I stared at Peyton too. Peyton shook his head sharply, then looked at Mom. There was an unusual hint of confusion and embarrassment in his eyes. Mrs. Bell, I may have made a mistake. When that child was born, was there heavy rain and thunder at midnight? Mom froze for a moment. Yes, there was. I had a difficult birth, and there was thunder and rain. Oh no. Peyton slapped his thigh loudly. She's not a Jinx. She has a hidden star in her fate. Hidden star? Mom was confused. A hidden star won't take away your good luck. It can bear bad luck. Peyton spoke rapidly, as if he needed to correct himself. People born with this fate unknowingly absorb the misfortune of those close to them. She has to suffer for you to have good luck because she takes on all the bad luck herself. Everyone stood frozen in shock. I was confused. Was that it? I wasn't a Jinx. I didn't bring bad luck. Instead, I took on their misfortune. What did my last 10 years mean then? Just then, Dad came back and overheard. He shouted, quick, go get Sharon. I followed them as they rushed out. Were they finally going to find my body? When they arrived at the old house, they climbed the stairs quickly and opened the door. An overwhelming stench hit them all at once. They covered their noses and gagged. And finally, they saw me.